Introduction: camera focuses on presenter against a dark background with subtle anatomical illustrations. Your body is a labyrinth of enigmas, housing secrets so profound that even after centuries of scientific exploration, we've only begun to illuminate its deepest mysteries. Consider this. At this very moment, your body is replacing millions of cells, orchestrating thousands of biochemical reactions, and processing sensory information through networks more complex than any supercomputer, all without your conscious awareness. Welcome to Lecture 73 of our Unusual Science series. I'm your guide into the perplexing realm of human physiology, where we'll unravel some of the most baffling and captivating truths about the vessel you inhabit. The human body, familiar yet foreign, intimately known yet eternally mysterious. Despite residing within our bodies for our entire existence, we remain strangers to many of its bewildering phenomena. Today, we'll venture beyond the conventional understanding of human anatomy and physiology to explore the shadows where science still searches for answers. Prepare to be astonished by the enigmatic architecture of your own existence. The most profound mysteries often hide in plain sight. Did you know you possess a second brain? Not metaphorically, but literally. A neural network embedded in the walls of your digestive tract containing over 100 million neurons. This enteric nervous system operates with startling autonomy, communicating with your brain through the vagus nerve, but capable of functioning entirely independently. Scientists have discovered this hidden brain can influence not just digestion, but mood, intuition, and potentially even decision-making processes we typically attribute solely to our cerebral cortex. The gut-brain connection remains one of medicine's most enigmatic frontiers. For decades, the appendix was dismissed as a useless evolutionary remnant, routinely removed without consequence. Yet recent discoveries have revealed this seemingly insignificant organ may serve as a sanctuary for beneficial bacteria, repopulating your gut following illness. More mysteriously, it appears to play roles in immune function that we're only beginning to comprehend. Adding to the anatomical enigmas is the fascination of Blaschko's lines, invisible patterns on human skin that become visible only under certain conditions like autoimmune disorders. These cryptic lines follow developmental pathways that don't correspond to any known nervous, vascular, or lymphatic structures. Yet they're consistently present in all humans, a ghostly blueprint whose purpose remains elusive. Perhaps most perplexing is microchimerism, the presence of genetically distinct cells within your body. Every mother carries cells from her children for decades after birth, cells that cross the placental barrier and integrate into maternal tissues. Similarly, we may carry cells from vanished twin siblings, from our mothers, or even from previous blood transfusions. These foreign cells don't merely exist as passive passengers. They actively participate in tissue repair, immune function, and potentially even influence our thinking and behavior. You are, in the most literal sense, not entirely yourself. A composite being hosting cellular travelers whose complete significance remains veiled in mystery. Consider the bewildering experience of phantom limbs, the sensation that an amputated limb remains attached and functional. This isn't merely psychological, but represents a fundamental question about how our brain maps our physical presence. Even more confounding, some individuals born without limbs report phantom sensations of appendages they never possessed. This suggests our neurological self-image may be partially innate rather than entirely learned through experience, a proposition that challenges our understanding of consciousness itself. What does it mean when our physical and neurological realities diverge so dramatically? The enigmatic phenomenon of goosebumps represents an evolutionary echo, a response designed for a body covered in thick hair we no longer possess. When triggered by cold or emotional stimuli, erector pili muscles contract, attempting to make non-existent fur stand up for warmth or threat display. This vestigial response serves as a living fossil within your skin, connecting you to ancestral forms long vanished. Equally perplexing is referred pain, the mysterious process by which pain originating in one body part is perceived in another, seemingly unrelated area. A heart attack manifests as arm pain, gallbladder issues as shoulder discomfort. This neural confusion reveals the intricate, often counterintuitive mapping of our internal sensory systems. Perhaps no physiological process remains more enigmatic than sleep. A state that renders us vulnerable yet is so essential that its deprivation quickly leads to cognitive collapse and eventually death. Despite comprising nearly a third of our existence, the fundamental purpose of sleep continues to elude scientific consensus. Is it primarily for memory consolidation, neural maintenance, metabolic regulation, consciousness integration? The truth likely encompasses all these explanations, yet transcends them. Even more baffling are microsleeps, seconds-long sleep episodes that occur while we appear awake, suggesting the boundary between consciousness and unconsciousness is far more permeable than we typically imagine. Within you thrives an invisible ecosystem of staggering proportions. Approximately 39 trillion microbial cells reside in and on your body, slightly outnumbering your own cells. This microbiome represents a symbiotic relationship, so profound that some scientists now propose we should be considered composite organisms rather than individuals. Most bewildering is emerging evidence that these microbes influence not just physical health, but cognition, emotional states, and potentially even personality traits. Your gut bacteria produce neurotransmitters, communicate with your immune system, and may even shape your food preferences and social behaviors, raising profound questions about the very nature of human identity and autonomy. Deeper still lies the enigma of mitochondria, the power-generating organelles within your cells that possess their own separate DNA. These structures were once free-living bacteria that entered into an alliance with our cellular ancestors some 2 billion years ago. This ancient merger created the energetic foundation for complex life. Yet mitochondrial DNA follows patterns of inheritance distinct from nuclear DNA, passed almost exclusively through maternal lines. These cellular power plants retain genetic independence while being utterly essential to your existence, a biological paradox embedded in every cell of your body. At the microscopic level, the complexity becomes truly mind-bending. Your immune system must distinguish between trillions of potential threats while recognizing and preserving your own tissues. A feat of molecular recognition so sophisticated that our most advanced computing systems can't begin to replicate it. Even more astonishing is cellular communication. The constant exchange of chemical signals between your 30 trillion cells, coordinating responses to changing conditions. This molecular conversation occurs through pathways so intricate that mapping them completely remains beyond current scientific capabilities, despite being fundamental to your continued existence. Your body carries the echoes of ancient evolutionary history. The coccyx at the base of your spine, remnants of a tail. The muscles that cause goosebumps, designed for fur you no longer have. The wisdom teeth that no longer fit in our smaller jaws. These vestigial structures pose profound questions about the journey that shaped human biology. Yet perhaps more intriguing are the evolutionary novelties unique to humans, our extraordinary brain-to-body ratio, prolonged childhood development, and capacity for complex language. These adaptations emerged with remarkable speed in evolutionary terms, through mechanisms we're still working to fully comprehend. Consider the evolutionary puzzle of menopause, extraordinarily rare in the animal kingdom, yet universal in human females. Unlike most species where females can reproduce until death, human women live decades beyond their reproductive years. This phenomenon defies simple evolutionary explanation, as natural selection typically favors extended reproductive capacity. The grandmother hypothesis suggests post-reproductive women provided evolutionary advantages through knowledge transfer and childcare. But this remains just one theory in an ongoing scientific conversation about this uniquely human trait. As our journey through the labyrinth of human physiology concludes, we're left with a paradoxical truth. The human body remains one of science's final frontiers, as mysterious in many ways as distant galaxies or ocean depths. Despite unprecedented technological advances, we continue to discover fundamental aspects of our own biology that challenge and expand our understanding. Perhaps most humbling is the realization that many everyday experiences, consciousness, memory, emotion, arise from biological processes we've only begun to comprehend. The body you inhabit is not merely a machine, but a living historical document, carrying the echoes of ancestral forms and evolutionary experiments across deep time. I leave you with this thought: you will never encounter anything in the universe more complex than the human body. Within the boundaries of your skin exists a universe of interactions so intricate that mapping them completely would require more information than is contained in all the world's libraries combined. The next time you feel the beat of your heart or the draw of your breath, remember, you are not merely observing these phenomena. You are experiencing the culmination of billions of years of biological innovation, a walking constellation of mysteries that science is still striving to illuminate. Until our next exploration of unusual science, remember that the most profound enigmas aren't found in distant galaxies, but within the boundaries of your own existence.